So how to establish the site-to-site VPN connection. But before that, let's understand what is site-to-site VPN. We have already covered point-to-site VPN. So what was the concept of point-to-site VPN? So we have a site here. Okay, site means we had created a VPC. Inside that VPC, we had subnet. Okay, and this is a AWS site here. Okay, then let's say you are sitting at home with your laptop, and here you have created multiple EC2 instance. And these EC2 instance, if you want to access with the help of the private IP address from your laptop, and you are traveling, sitting in your home or hotel, and from there you want to access it via the private IP address. So point to site VPN was helping you to do that. If point to site VPN is configured in between, you can do this. And AWS site is the site, and this laptop is acting as a point here. So this is a concept of point to site VPN. But today we are going to discuss about the site to site VPN here. So what is site to site VPN? So let me draw one diagram. Suppose this is your AWS environment. Inside this environment, you have a VPC here. And in VPC, you have, let's say, multiple subnets. So I'm taking example of Singapore region. So in Singapore, you have 3 subnet by default. Okay. So let's say the name of VPC is VPC1. And this is your AWS infrastructure. Now the requirement is that, suppose you have your office. This is your office now. And in this office also, this is your on-prem site, and this is your AWS site. So inside your on-prem also, you will have a network, a private network. So let's say this is a private network, and the range of private network is 192.168.1.0/24. Right. Now this is one private network of your on-premises, and this is a private network of your AWS infrastructure. Both are separate site. If you are sitting here in your cubicle and your laptop is connected, if you want to access the EC2 instance which is created here inside this, let's say this is a subnet. Inside this subnet, you have created a EC2 instance. Now, if you want to access with the help of the private IP address, suppose you want to access it, so this connection will not happen here, right? This connection will not happen. Why it will not happen? Because both are separate private networks. So it's not like that. Suppose you are in a tech park. There are 2 companies. This is one company, or this is second company. You are sitting inside your office. Can you take the access of the device which is there inside this network? No, you can't do that. Even if you do not set the firewall and security as well, even after that, you cannot connect it because both are separate networks here. So same concept goes here as well, right? Now in this case, if I want to enable the connectivity between AWS infrastructure or the AWS site or on-prem site, the site-to-site VPN connection come into the picture. So once site-to-site VPN connection is done, so I'll be able to establish the connection here, right? So one heads up, because I do not have this on-prem environment, I will show you the complete configuration part, but I will not able to show you the last end connectivity, how we did in case of point-to-site VPN. So we did the last mile connectivity also testing, so it was successful. But in this case, I do not have this real on-prem site. Okay, so this part we are going to assume that we have this one. So accordingly, we will do the configuration here inside our AWS infrastructure. Okay, we will do everything, but the last mile connectivity, we will not able to do that. And whenever you do this site-to-site VPN connection, so there are 2 stakeholders in such kind of setups here. You can't do it alone being a Azure admin. So 2 stakeholders, one is your Azure administrator team. Azure team should be there. Sorry, AWS. And second is your network operation team. So this is a joint venture between both of them. Fine. So you will take care of the configuration required from the AWS side, and the network operation team will take whatever need to be done from the uh, on-premises side, right? So now let's see how we do this. So for doing it, I have to create one resource here. Okay, and before that, let me show you. If you come here, I'm in Singapore region, go to services, then you go to the VPC here. Inside VPC, when you drag it down, there is an option called Virtual Private Network, VPN. In this VPN section, we have already studied about client VPN endpoint. So it was used for the point to site connectivity. So this practical we have already done. So today we are going to touch customer gateway, virtual private gateway, and the site to site VPN connection. So these 3 points we will touch today for our configuration. So first of all, what I need to do, I have to create a virtual private gateway. Okay. So what is virtual private gateway basically? So let's say this is my virtual private gateway. Okay. And when I create this virtual private gateway, this gateway has to be attached with the VPC. So in this case, for this practical, I'm not creating a separate VPC. We will take our default VPC for this practical. So VPC is already there. I will just go ahead and rename it to the VPC1. When I create this virtual private gateway, I will go ahead and attach this with this particular network here. Okay. And through this VPG only, I will create this site to site connection. This is one thing. Second thing, if you see that in this corner, you will find out something called customer gateway also. So what is this customer gateway? In the on-premises environment, okay, you will have a VPN device, and this VPN device will be used to establish the connectivity, because it's not like that that VPN connection you are only creating for the AWS environment. You can create the VPN connection for Azure also. You can create the VPN connection for your day-to-day work, like your normal routine work from home kind of scenario, where people are working from home and from home they want to connect this network, right? So this VPN device will be already there inside your infrastructure. So actually, what is this VPN device? This is a gateway. Through that, you can enter inside to the customer network. So that is the reason AWS has renamed it as a customer gateway, a gateway through which we can get inside the customer network. Okay. But what we are doing, we are creating this customer gateway here. So let's say this is a customer gateway. And what I'm going to mention here, in this customer gateway, I will provide the IP address of this VPN device. So this is a VPN device here. Okay. And this VPN device will also have a IP address, a public IP address, right? So when I'm creating this customer gateway, basically I'm mentioning the same IP address here so that the connection can be directed in this way from my VPC to the customer network. So that is the reason I'm creating this customer gateway here, right? Now let's see. First we will create the virtual private gateway, then we will create a customer gateway here, and then we'll see how to create site-to-site VPN connectivity, right? So VPC is already there. I'm just going and renaming it to the VPC1. So how to do that? So go to your VPC first of all, go to your VPC. You can see one VPC is already there. Come here and just type VPC1 just for my reference. VPC1 is created. Inside that, there are 3 subnets already. Okay. And routing table is there and internet gateway is also there. You know already this part. Fine. Now I will go ahead and focus on this virtual private network. So if you understand the concept, the configuration is very easy here. Okay. So first of all, I just need a virtual private gateway. So click on virtual private gateway, create a virtual private gateway. So let's say I'm mentioning it as virtual private gateway and 1. This is the name, and just go ahead and create it. Okay, so currently this VPG, virtual private gateway, is in detached form. So I need to change this state, and basically I want to attach this VPG with my VPC here. So if you see this diagram, I have already created virtual private gateway. Now I want to attach it with the VPC1. So same thing it is asking me to do. Select here, go to action and click on attach to VPC. Select your VPC, VPC1, and yes, attached. So the process is happening here of the attachment. Okay, so this step is done. This step is done. Now I need to create a customer gateway. Okay, so to create a customer gateway, you come here, click on this option, customer gateway, create customer gateway. So let's say the name is customer gateway here, and the IP address of the customer gateway. So as I told you that the IP address will be the IP address of this VPN device. And who will give you this IP address? Your network operation team is going to give you this IP address for the configuration. So there are some sort of information which has to be shared by the network team to you, as well as some sort of information you also have to share with them while they are configuring connection from their end. Okay. So we need this IP address from them. So because I do not have this setup with me right now, so I will assume one IP address. So for that reason, I'm going to take the IP address of my laptop here. So that is a valid IP address. So what is my IP address? Okay. Copy this one. And let's assume that this is the IP address of my VPN device here. Okay, just for assumption purpose, I have kept here. There is no relation with my laptop in this case. So same IP address, you can come to this portal and paste it and create customer gateway. Close this one. Okay, so this customer gateway also has been created. Now, if you go to the virtual private gateway, the state is showing attached. So my customer gateway and my private gateway both are ready. Now what I will do, okay, I will initiate the creation of site-to-site VPN connection. So when I create site-to-site VPN connection, it will ask me about the virtual private gateway, what I have created, VPG1, and also it will ask for the customer gateway. So I have created one customer gateway also. And it will take up both of the information and it will establish a site-to-site connection with my VPN device. Okay, so this is my actually site-to-site VPN here. So how to create this site-to-site VPN? To create this site-to-site VPN, come here and click on site-to-site VPN connection. Click on create VPN connection. So let's say I'm calling it site-to-site connection. Okay, and one thing you need to understand that, so this time what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to establish connection in this direction. Okay, or you can call it connection one also, site to site connection one. So basically this is the name of this connection. Okay, and this is happening from your AWS to on-prem. So in this direction you are establishing it. Fine. So come to your portal, name I have mentioned. So now it is asking about the target gateway. So for this site to site, I have created a virtual private gateway here. Click on it. So this is the virtual private gateway VPG1, select this one. Then it is asking about the customer gateway. So customer gateway I have already created. So I will select the existing because already one customer gateway I have created, and this is the customer gateway, and you can see the IP address also showing up here. So select this one, right? Now, if you relate it with this diagram, I'm trying to create site to site. When I'm creating site to site, it asks me for the virtual private gateway, as well as it asks me for the customer gateway. So both of the information I have provided now. So now it is asking for other information. So routing option it is asking. So there are two, automatic or static. So in this case, I am going to select the static one. So it is asking me with whom you want to establish the connection now, right? So with which network you want to establish the connection. So basically I'm trying to establish the connection with the on-prem. In on-prem, this is the network. Okay, and with this network, I am trying to create the connection. And actually in real time, it happens that you will have number of network inside your office. On first floor, there will be a different network. Second floor will be a different network. Okay, so you can mention whatever network you want to be connected via this site-to-site VPN. So for this demo, I have taken the example of this one. Let's say I'm assuming there is only one network here. So same network information I can put 192.168.1.0/24. And suppose you have other network also, just click on add rule and you can mention the network details here, right? So right now I'm trying to keep it simple. There is only one network. So here it is asking about the local IP version network CIDR. So when you see customer gateway CIDR range, means what is the range of network in this direction? So I have the range of network of this one, 192.168.1.0. So it is also possible that inside the same range, there are multiple subnet 1, subnet 2, and subnet 3. So these three information, 1, 2, 3, the range of these IP address, you can mention one by one here. Okay. And here you can put the overall network ID. So both are possible here. So let me copy the same thing. So do not get confused why I'm putting the same information here also, because I have taken only one range of IP address. Now it is asking about the remote IP version network CIDR. And remote means AWS site CIDR range. So what is the AWS site CIDR range? So let's go ahead and duplicate it. Go to your VPC. So I have taken this VPC for my practical. So copy this range, Control C. So this is my AWS site network range. So paste it here also. Fine. Now it is asking about the tunnel. So basically what is happening, two tunnels are getting created here, tunnel 1 and the tunnel 2. So what is this tunnel actually? So tunnel means when this traffic is moving from here to here, when I'm creating this site-to-site connectivity, all of these traffic between your AWS infrastructure as well as in your on-prem infrastructure, the traffic is moving via the internet. In between, you have an internet here. Okay. And here you can see there are two tunnels mentioned, tunnel 1 and tunnel 2. Basically, two tunnels or two connections are getting established, tunnel 1 and the tunnel 2. Why 2? Because if one tunnel is down, the data can flow from the other tunnel. Okay. And same thing, vice versa. Right. So for the redundancy and backup purpose, two tunnels are getting created. Now, when this tunnel is getting created, it is asking for the shared key also. So generally what happens right now, I am trying to create connection from AWS to on-prem. Okay. So it will ask me about the shared keys as well. So same shared key has to be configured when this network engineer of this on-prem, who is the owner of this on-prem network, when they are trying to establish the connection in this direction. Because when the connection happen in both the direction, then only data will flow. So when they are establishing this connection from on-prem to AWS, that time you are supposed to put the same shared key. Okay. Otherwise, this connection or this handshake will not happen. So this is kind of authentication. So shared key is required. And the same shared key has to be given here also. So now you can see that there is an option here. When tunnel is getting created, it says that the key is automatically generated by the Amazon. If you want to create it by your own, you can also create this key. Key is nothing, just like a password. You can put anything, but you have to make sure that it should be same from both the direction. So better you can keep it for Amazon only. So let Amazon create this one. Okay, so both of the tunnels it is going to be created. Just go ahead and create the VPN connection. So this side-to-side VPN connectivity has been initiated. So this connection from here to here has been initiated. So two tunnels are getting created here. But the connectivity from this side to this side is still pending. Okay. But when this network engineer is trying to establish this connection, you have to provide a lot of information to this guy, network engineer, so that he can complete this configuration here. So how to provide that information? So that information we can provide in the form of the configuration file. So let's wait for this one. Once this is done, then we will proceed further. Okay. So meanwhile, what we can do, because in AWS we have to create a route also. So I have to tell the traffic that if you want to move, let's say I have to tell the VPC1 that if you want to move traffic from this VPC1 to this network 192.168.1.0, you have to go via this connection, side to side VPN connection. Okay, you have to use this connection. So I have to inform the same thing to my routing table also. So it means I have to create a route in it. So routing table is already there. So if you go here, so one routing table is already there, and I can modify the same route table. Select the route table first. Okay. When you click on subnet association, edit subnet association, you can see all three subnets are attached here. Okay, it means all three subnet can connect to the on-premises network if you have created any EC2 instance inside these subnets. Fine, so I'm not going to change this one. Second thing is the route here. So you want to create a route in which you want to tell that, let me remove it, click on add route. So route is if you want to go to 192.168.1.0/24, and this is the IP range of your on-premises network. Okay, so I'm telling VPC1 and all three subnet that if you want to reach out to this one, this network, so you have to go via virtual private gateway, and this is the VPG1. So you have to go via this VPG, virtual private gateway, and click on save route. This is one way of doing it. Fine. Something called route propagation also. Suppose you do not want to do it manually. So what will happen in that case? You go to the route propagation and click on edit route propagation. And here there is a checkbox. You just click on it and click on save. So in this case, what will happen? Automatically, this route is going to be created. As soon as you establish the connection, it will detect that route and it is going to automatically add into this route table. So both ways are correct. Both ways are possible. If you are comfortable with the static route, just go here and mention it, create it manually. If you are not comfortable, just go here on route propagation and edit this and check this checkbox here and click on save. So this route will be created automatically here. Up to you how you want to do that. Both options are available, right? So I have updated my routing table also. So if I come here, side to side VPN connection. So now this VPN connection is available. Okay, so here you can see there is an option called download configuration. Select this side to side VPN connection and click on download configuration. So when you click on download configuration, it is asking about the vendor. And when you click on this list, so there are so many companies are listed. Those are dealing with this VPN devices. Okay, Citrix, Cisco, everything is available. Even if you compare with the Azure has around only 4 to 5 options, but in case of AWS, you have a very long list. In case you are not finding out the vendor here, you can go ahead and select the generic one. So what does this mean actually? Which vendor it is asking about? So you can see that we have connected one VPN device here. Okay, so it is asking about the name of the company of this VPN device. This VPN device belong to which company? Okay, so if it is from the Cisco, if it is from the Citrix, okay, so same thing you can go ahead and select here. So accordingly, it is going to customize the configuration file, and the same configuration file you have to give it to the network engineer for the deployment. And one thing you always have to keep in the mind that this VPN device can be anything. You can connect a router also here, you can have a firewall also, you can have a dedicated VPN device also. So it is up to you what you want to configure and what is there inside your office actually. So that knowledge your network engineer will have, because he is the owner of this infrastructure. This side, he is the owner of that. He will have the access of everything, right? So let's say as a vendor, you have selected OpenSWAN here. Okay, and this is the platform and software version and all, everything is selected. So collect this information from your network engineer, because he'll be able to give you all these information. So once it is done, just click on download file here, and in this download file, basically you have the configuration, and this file you are supposed to give to the network engineer. Now what this network engineer is going to do, in this configuration file everything is pre-configured. You can see steps are given. It says if you want to set up the tunnel 1, go ahead and first execute this command. After that you execute this command, then you have to execute this command. So everything has been given in detail, okay, in this configuration file. So same file you have to give to the network engineer. And now network engineer, what he's going to do, he's going to initiate one connection from your from this VPN device to this AWS infrastructure in this direction. Okay, and in this configuration file you will also have the shared key, same shared key. You will also have the information about the network. So everything has been consolidated inside that file, and that will be used by the network engineer. So once this connection is done, okay, this connection is done, the connection will be up here, side to side VPN will be up, and that you can verify by checking into this tunnel detail. When you click on this tunnel detail, right now both of the tunnels are down because I have configured only in one direction. If both of the direction connection is set up, the tunnel 1 and tunnel 2 will show up as available here, and the connection will start flowing in this direction. So this is how we configure the side to side VPN here.